We would like to welcome Coach Stoops, and he will go right straight to questions. Coach, over here to your left on the second row.
What is the potential of this offense and its biggest strength?
I think we have great potential. I really do. I think, you have a foundation of being physical, of running the football. That always helps. It opens up the play-action game. We all understand that's an area where we needed to improve, and I feel like we've really made some big strides. So I think creating big plays and plays down the field is something we had to do. When you run the ball that well, you have to be able to get the ball down the field off play action. So I feel like the quarterbacks are much more comfortable. It's much more attacking offense, and we were much more effective in the spring. Still have a long way to go.
We'll stay on the left here on the second row.
Hey, Coach. Jacques Doucet, WAFB TV. For the first time in 14 years, LSU is going to make a trip to Lexington. I know it's way down the road, but with the SEC scheduling, you don't get a chance to host a game like that every year. What are your feelings about them finally coming up?
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll be great for our fan base. It'll be a great experience, to have a school, with so much history as LSU coming into our stadium. That's always part of the fun, and I understand that's always part of the debate here at SEC Media Days with the permanent crossover and the rotation and all those things. But certainly a big game, and I'm sure it'll be great for our fan base. As you mentioned, that's far down the line, so we have so many things to do in between, but it certainly will be a fun atmosphere and a big game for us.
We'll stay to your left on the front row here.
Hey, Coach. Anthony Patterson with the Atlanta Voice newspaper. You have receivers Wandale Robinson and Josh Ali working out for the season because just like you, they're excited for the offense, everything they can bring to the table as well. What are your thoughts just on them working so hard just to get ready in this offense? And what do they bring to the table to that Kentucky offense?
Yeah, very pleased with both of those guys. Starting with Josh deciding to come back for the extra year, that was very big for us because we are not as deep as we'd like to be at the wide receiver position. And Josh is extremely talented and maybe didn't get as many touches because of the offensive system that we had. And so having him come back was a big boost for us. He had a great spring. He's a guy that has really good top-end speed. He's working extremely hard. He's a great leader. And so very pleased to have Josh and really excited about his opportunities this fall. With Wandale, he's new to our program. He's a guy we're very familiar with. I recruited him extremely hard out of high school, but came back home, transferred back from Nebraska, and so grateful to have him on our team. You felt his presence each and every day during spring. He was electric. He's a guy that just has another gear. And, so really looking forward to getting him some touches and getting the ball down the field.
Coach, we'll go to you right here in the second row.
Coach Mike Lucas, KXTV and College Station. You've been around the league for a while. You've schemed against some great quarterbacks. When you look at the overall quarterback play in the league looking into 2021, how would you evaluate the level of, signal callers and quarterbacks the league has to offer this year?
Well, heck, you're always going to face good players. You never know what you're going to get. What was that? Just a couple years ago, Felipe was playing against us in Lexington and gets hurt, and in comes Trask, and nobody knew a whole heck of a lot about him at the time, but we all do now. One heck of a football player. You don't know what you're going to get each and every week because there's guys sitting on the bench or maybe waiting for their opportunity that are just waiting to explode. There's very talented players in this league. And, I feel good about our room. I feel like we have a chance to take it to another level and really have some really talented quarterbacks in our room.
Coach, we'll go to your left again on the second row.
How do you find a more consistent pass rush, especially with J.J. Weaver potentially out?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I think our guys have worked extremely hard. If we're not getting home rushing four with base defense, then we'll have to mix it up and create some pressures different ways. We've had great success in the past couple years, finding different ways to create pressure, and we may have to do that again but we're also challenging our guys to win some one-on-ones as well.
Back to your right, up front.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. Coach, I think it was Josh that was saying how, while, the team's going to take everything game by game, but, the ultimate goal is to get to Atlanta. How attainable is that for this team?
We don't sit there and put any percentages on things, just like we're not ready to give up on any game. We're sitting there trying to win each and every game we play. That's the focus. That's our concentration. We're only guaranteed 12, and we want to make the most of those 12. But I can promise you, no matter who we're playing, we're not giving up on any one of those 12. So, that's why it's hard to put a percentage or even discuss it. Let's just go out there and get better tomorrow. And I know that gets boring for writers, but it's true.
We'll go back to your left on the front row.
Anthony Patterson with the Atlanta Voice. One of the players you recruited out of the state of Georgia is Chauncey Mackwood. He played wide receiver and quarterback at Lee County. He's wide receiver for you guys now. Although he may not be as high on the depth chart, what just went into recruiting a player just like that? And what do you see his ceiling for?
Yeah, we're very pleased with Chauncey. He was here in the spring, so he was an early graduate and went through spring practice, and we were very pleased. You could see the progress he made from the first practice to the last, and he will be ahead, for that, for having the opportunity to spend a spring with us, and very excited about him, and I think he has a bright future.
Coach, to your left on the second row.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the addition of Dare Rosenthal to your team. How is that going? And secondly, your view on the transfer portal. Is it kind of a double-edged sword as a coach? You want to tell guys, hey, stick it out, keep working hard, but then you can also benefit from it as well, taking in new players?
I think it's definitely a double-edged sword at times. You got to manage it the best you can. You got to manage your roster. We're grateful to add somebody with such great experience and from a such a prestigious school. If you're playing at LSU, you got to have some good qualities about you, and so we're excited to add them and add some depth to our program and see where it goes from there.
To your right on the front row again.
Coach, when you look at, going from 2020 to 2021, what's the one, part or area of this team that you feel confident has improved or will improve the most this season?
Well, I think, it's obvious it had better improve is the pass game. And, I've talked a lot about it, but it's true. We've put a lot of emphasis on it. We need to. We have a new scheme, and, we've been a physical team, played good defense, been able to run the football. But we need to improve getting the ball down the field and the passing attack in general.
Coach, back to your left on the second row.
What have you seen out of Will Levis that you like?
Well, he just got here, so I haven't been able to watch him yet. That would be against the rules. So I could tell you this: our players that have been out there throwing with him and seeing him throw the football, they say it's a different type of guy. The arm that he has, and I know just being around him, his presence, he's extremely competitive, very motivated, so I'm excited about him, but I haven't seen him throw the ball out there on the field yet, but our players really like him.
Again, to your right on the second row.
Coach, there's been some talk this week about possibly expanding the SEC schedule to 9 conference games as opposed to 8. If that is what happens moving forward, would you be a fan of adding an extra league game?
I mean, I'm not, but I'm one guy, one vote. As I said, you all can clearly look at last year's schedule, right? I mean, look at the 10-game schedule and take a good hard look at what it did to half our league, maybe more. I mean, it's pretty brutal.
Anything else for Coach Stoops? Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck this season.